All right, could you introduce yourself?
I'm Dr. Tim Wakefield, and I'm a professor at John Brown University.
Right, my name is Bethany Garcia. I'm a biology major at John Brown University.
I'm Kyla Tweedy. I'm a biology major.
Hello, I'm Savannah Stauffer. I am a biology major at JVU.
Hi, my name is Zach Houston, and I am a biology major at John Brown University.
I'm Bailey Acord. I'm a biology major.
Hi, my name is Whitney Brandon, and I'm a biology major here at JVU.
Hi, I'm Neil Miller. I'm a senior biology major at JBU.
My name is Bethany Zarby, and my major is biology.
My name is Lissa Hirsch, and I'm a chemistry major.
My name is Hannah Essery, and I'm a biology major at JBU.
My name is Justin Murtis, and I'm a digital media art major.
My name is Kevin Bell, and I am a biology major.
Hi, I'm Michelle Baker. I graduated in 2011. I was a female sponsor on this trip.
One of my favorite things about this trip was just snorkeling with everybody in the water and seeing some amazing creatures.
Let's see, I'd have to say the biggest highlight was yesterday when we were snorkeling out at that natural preserve, the marine preserve, and we got to see a 7-foot bull shark swim within feet of us.
I remember the first time we jumped in to go snorkeling, me and Savannah, within the first probably 10 seconds or something, we looked at each other like, this is the coolest thing we have ever seen. And
one of my favorite moments of this trip was when I saw a manatee. That's right, people, a manatee. A sea cow, if you will.
My favorite thing about this trip was seeing the ocean for the first time. And I also like finding the big conch shell and the hermit crabs. Those were fun.
I think seeing all the images in our book come to life, you really get to, this is my first time to snorkel in the water, and so you really get to see everything that you get to see in the book and even more. For me, one of my favorite parts of the trip, I got to swim with a bull shark, which I'm terrified of sharks, and at the same time it's a really awesome experience.
My favorite moment was probably getting to see a shark. We went out to one of the reefs and just saw this bull shark just swimming along, and it was really neat.
Whenever we first went out onto the coral reef, and we were at Sombrero Reef, and we all jumped in for the first time, and like as soon as I put down like my face mask into the water and looked down, I was so amazed by how everything you see in the textbook was just right there in real life, and it was way more beautiful than the textbook could ever portray it.
My favorite moment was when we were going out to snorkel and we saw a pod of dolphins on the way back.
The little jellyfish, and I know they're just tiny, but I found them really fascinating and they're really cool because they looked all whimsical in the water, and then you pick them up and they're just globs of goo, and then you put them back in and you could see their structure and everything, which is really cool.
My favorite part of this trip was seeing the dolphins on the way back from the coral reef on the first day out in the ocean.
I saw a manatee, a real-life manatee, a sea cow, if you will.
My favorite moment of the trip is when Zach did this, and then Savannah said, "Shark!" And I swam over and got to swim and film a bull shark. That was a dream come true, being able to film and be with a bull shark in its natural habitat. It was unreal.
We got to see a lot of big organisms, what we call megafauna, so this is probably the trip where we've seen the most big things. We saw a manatee, some students saw a manatee, some students got to see sharks. So we saw a lot of big things this trip. That's a lot of fun.
This doesn't have anything to do with like biology. When Savannah fell off the bed, that probably was my favorite part of this trip. It was hilarious. I also love the boat ride. The boat ride is my favorite. The one where we went on the spirit snorkeling and we had that whole area to lay out on the boat.
Are you talking about Boatman Dan?
No, I'm not talking about Boatman Dan.
But you're thinking about him?
Oh my goodness, you're cutting this out, right?
Of course.
Okay, next question.
You should take marine biology because the class is super interesting, and because this trip is unlike anything you'll ever go on in your whole life. It's fun and educational. Who the heck knew? And you know what else? Like the stuff you learn in class, you actually get to see in the water. Like thought that that was real, you know, like it's not just in a book, it's like in real life.
Definitely one of the reasons to take marine biology is to further study this incredible ecosystem that we know very little about, and to just gain a greater appreciation for research science in general.
Because you learn a lot of cool things, and it's really fun to go on this trip and actually see the things in their natural environment that you've been learning about.
I think there's a lot of worth in studying nature to understand God more as an amazing creator.
Marine biology is a course that is similar to animal biology if you've taken it, but at the same time it's just this new, just a breath of fresh air. I mean, it's not like you go to lab and it's just a lecture during the week and then this is your lab. You come to the Florida Keys for an entire week and eat the food and see the sights and snorkel with God's amazing creatures, and that's your lab. And then you write a naturalist journal, which is more or less just a reflection of the time that you've been here. It's just an incredible class, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Well, this trip, obviously, the spring break trip, is a lot of fun, and in class is really interesting too because it's different than other science classes. I think it's a nice break because it's not like extremely challenging or anything, but it's really interesting.
I think it's a really great experience just to get out here and learn how to snorkel and see a lot of cool animals and plants and organisms, and it's really neat.
First of all, if you just need the biology credit, you should do it because first of all, you get a spring break trip, and second of all, I mean, you get to hang out with Dr. Wakefield every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and for a whole week in the Florida Keys.
People should take marine biology because the lab is really fun and you get to come to the Florida Keys for spring break. And unlike chemistry labs, this one actually works. So you actually get to like see what you know and understand it, and it's not just like random chemicals not working.
You should take marine biology because the more you learn about God, the bigger He is. And so the amount of stuff that we learn just blows me away. And there's a lot of times where if you forget that you're learning it for a class, you can just be overwhelmed, and it can be a lot of fun and really exciting, especially in the Keys. There was a lot of laughter and there's a lot of fascination. Just really, really amazing.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a really good way to spend a spring break. Yeah, it's just really cool.
They should take it because it's a great experience. This is the best spring break I've ever had. You get to learn and have a blast. More a blast than learning, but it's still a blast.
This is a great opportunity to see creatures and amazing wildlife in its natural habitat. In animal biology, you get to go to the aquarium, and these other classes you get to see animals, but they're in controlled environments. I absolutely love snorkeling and seeing all the fish and all the coral and just everything. That's where it lives and survives, and I just love that part about marine biology.
I think people should take marine biology because it helps to introduce them into a part of the creation that God made that most people don't get an opportunity to really see and appreciate. And I think the more that we appreciate the things that God made, the better we get to understand Him, and the more we'll want to work to take care of it.
One of the greatest things I love about Dr. Wakefield is that he is just one snarky man. I mean, he just says some of the wittiest things, but it's out of love and kindness from his heart in some odd way. But I think that's probably one of the best things about that guy.
My favorite thing about Dr. Wakefield is his generally playful nature. He's got a very witty, very dry sense of humor, but it's a lot of fun to sit down and have a good conversation with him.
He's like a dad, like a friend at the same time too. He teases you a lot, and I've really enjoyed having him in class and in research too. And he's one of my favorite professors here.
I also like finding the big conch shell and the hermit crabs. Those were fun. And my favorite thing about Dr. Wakefield, I really like his turtle tattoo. Yeah, and he has great swag.
I like Dr. Wakefield because he's funny and He's nice, but he's also very, very smart, and you can tell that he cares a lot about the subject that we're studying, and he loves marine biology, like me.
In class, sometimes when you first have him in a class, he's kind of that tough guy, kind of hard teacher, but he softens up so much when you come down on this marine trip, and you'll catch him singing 80s songs the whole time, or just teasing along with everybody else, and he turns into more than just your professor. It's more, you really develop a relationship and a friendship with him, and he's a really, really cool guy. And he knows the places down here, so he takes you to the cool places. It's just he's a really nice guy, great man of God.
I love his sense of humor. It's kind of odd and dry, but it's really funny.
One of my favorite things about Dr. Wakefield is his sense of humor, because he'll start talking like he's going to be mad at you, but then he ends up saying something really funny.
I like Dr. Wakefield because he really and truly cares about the students. He isn't just there for his own good, he's really there for you. And he's not tricky, he's just specific. So I think he really wants to make sure you learn and you have a good time while you learn, and it's very obvious by us going on this trip and him taking the time that he did to take us here.
He reminds me of Halt, and that's my favorite book series, and he'll know what I'm talking about.
I just don't really like him, so I don't know how to answer that question. I'm just kidding. There's not really that many professors that would give up their spring break where they could be with their own kids to come to the Florida Keys with their students. And he just really cares about his students and will do anything for them. So I just really respect him for that.
One of my favorite things about Dr. Wakefield is the way that he uses his abilities in and out of the classroom. So in the classroom, he's hospitable, he's caring, he's funny, but he's also very knowledgeable, and he helps people along the way. But outside the classroom, he's funny, he's engaging, and he helps people along the way outside the classroom too. He's just a really good example of how a good professor in and out of the classroom can change lives for the better.
He's a really funny guy, and he's very personable, and actually gets to know you on a great level, and he's so retains his professorness, still being your friend at the same time.
I love when he gets really excited about different little creatures he finds, and yeah, it's my favorite. He gets so excited. At this time of the year when he has marine biology, his whole mood changes. He gets really, really excited. This is his favorite class, so I love seeing him get really excited like that.
About myself, I'm just so darn good looking.
What was one of your favorite things about the group of students this year?
I thought this group of students had a really good synergy, that they all got along really well, they laughed a lot, they were able to tease each other and nobody really got upset. They played games together, which was a lot of fun, and they were respectful of each other at the same time, so I think it was just a really great class.
Okay. This looks so ridiculous out of water.
I think I see a shark.
Oh wait, it's just Neil. He doesn't have to talk about it.
It's a manatee.
Back.
I know everyone's excited about being back in Silent Springs and having 26 degrees temperatures last night. That's awesome. That was great.